let's put the M in M power, shall we? So there's third, button. What is up, my dudes? It's your boy here, Drew from EchoWorks. Today I'm bringing you the video you guys have all been asking for a really, really long time, and that is, what is it like to drive an E30 with an S54 in it? So let's get straight to it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love this car. I've had this car built like this, well, put together for about the last 4 years, making some small adjustments here and there, and I gotta tell you, I love this thing. I look forward to driving it every day. It's been a daily driver for a long time. I absolutely love it. The reason why it's taken me so long to get you this video is because over this summer, well, Arkansas summers are very unforgiving, and being in a car that generates a lot of heat from this motor and a car that has no AC, it sucks. And I prefer to have the windows up because so you guys can hear me. But I'm out here in the middle of some farmlands in Arkansas because it's Arkansas and that's pretty much all we have here. And nice straight road so I can talk to you guys. This car is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love it. But let me tell you a little bit about the car, like how I have this set up. This is an S54B32 out of an E40 M3 paired with the Getrag 420G, which is the transmission that came with the engine. Going through a 373 LSD in the rear with E40 M3 brakes all the way around, and we're stopping. And an E40 M3, oh, third. There's your Getrag 420G for you. Let's do a little pull. Slow down. That was a $130. Woo-wee. This road's really not all that smooth. This car's a blast, let me tell you that. This car is an absolute blast. I look forward to driving it every single day. Oh my God, I love this. It's just, oh my God, I love this thing. If you're laying in bed at night at 11:30, you got work in the morning, or let's say 1:30 in the morning, because I know YouTube rabbit holes just suck you down and you just wind up watching some crazy videos. If you're on this video and you're like, man, I got an E30 and I really want to do a swap, what should I do? An S54, it's worth the money. It's an expensive swap. It's not too terribly difficult. But guys, it is so, so worth it. Man, I love this thing. I love this thing so much. Just rip the Band-Aid off and commit. Just do it. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. That pull back there, actually, I have the M switch here, which puts it in sport mode, and that was without that. So in sport mode, the car's a lot more peppy under full throttle. Unfortunately, I can't push the car too hard today. I have a misfire on cylinder 2 under full load, and my coil packs are on the way. I'm just waiting for them to get here, and I could not wait to do this video because it is such a beautiful day. It's 65 outside, it's sunny, it's beautiful. I love it. Arkansas is a very pretty place. But about the car, pros, would I build it all over again? Absolutely. I'm building an S62 because I just want a V8, and I've driven many E30s with swaps. I've driven M50s, S50s, S52s, my S54. I've driven an LS1 E30, an M62 E30, and then there was an oddball one that I drove about a year ago. It was an SR20 E30, very different. I love the boost, but I love the naturally aspirated BMW engines because they are just that good. I would have to say my ultimate pairing for these would have to be an E30 M3 and the S54. It's just such a balanced pair, because the S54 may not make a lot of torque, but you don't need a lot of torque in a car that only weighs, you know, on the bottom end 2,500 pounds and at the heavy end 2,800 pounds. So, I mean, oh man, I love this thing. And I'm also stuck behind a camper. So that's why we were going very slowly. But this thing picks up and goes. I could be doing 50 miles an hour. I'm doing almost 2,000 RPM. And I can just put my foot down and this thing just takes off like a missile. Absolutely love it. The only cons to this swap is that it's a little pricey. The engines are going back up in price because the E46 M3s are going back up in price. But guys, just do it. It is so, so worth it. I love this thing. It is a blast to drive. The power is there, the lightness is there, the handling is there, the sound is there. The intake on this thing is magnificent. Even though it's a factory intake, cold air intake, I have a duct, so it's ram air intake if you want to call it that. And here's a little shot of that. So I know it's not the cleanest engine bay in the world, but it works. And once the S62 E30 is done, I'm going to pull the S54 back out and clean up the engine bay. And I can't wait for that. But I really want to put a Turner CSL intake on here, and boy, that will really increase the sound. For exhaust, I'm running, what are they? The factory OEM headers that have been modified, no cats into an X pipe, and 2.5 inch all the way back into just an eBay muffler. It sounds glorious. Here's a snippet. There goes a very lowered E90. And I'm gonna try to get around this camper here on the next straight. But guys, this thing is phenomenal. I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, like I was saying, cons to this thing, a little pricey on the swap. And the parts can be a little pricey depending on your budget. And I have to say, I have to drive this point home. If you're gonna do a swap and you're gonna do maintenance to your engine like you should, like preventative maintenance, always use BMW parts. I cannot stress that enough. So many people put aftermarket parts on there just because they're a couple dollars cheaper and then wonder why it breaks all the time, and then, you know, BMWs get bad reps. Granted, BMWs have their history, but let me see if I can, there's fourth, and no, because there's a state trooper sitting up here. Shut that down real quick, didn't it? But guys, enough of me talking. I'm gonna give you guys some raw footage of the car driving back and forth and getting some exhaust and some intake sounds and whatnot. If you're laying in bed, you're using the bathroom, staying away from work, I'm talking to you, man. I'm talking to you. Just do it. Just do it. Absolute blast. Nobody stole it. Guys, I gotta tell you, my favorite thing about this car is, aside from that it's a total sleeper, and the only way that you're gonna know that anything's done to it is if you know to look at the size of the brakes on this thing. And the stupid light bar, trust me, I don't like it either, but I need to see where I'm going at night, and the headlights just don't cut it. And I gotta say, my favorite thing about this car is that this thing can go from an absolute missile to a daily driver that's comfortable. I love it. I have KW custom coilovers on here, and they're very comfortable, and this thing just settles right down. And like right now I'm doing 60 at about 2,300 RPM and just cruising. And man, that's awesome. You know, like around town, I don't even notice that there's an S54 in here compared to, compared to, you know, an M20. Obviously it's a lot more powerful and it's a lot more sensitive, but it drives the same. It really does. I mean, it just quiets right down, and it's very docile, and it just blends in, and I love it. The looks of this car alone is enough to turn heads, especially around here. There's a handful of E30s around here, and I'm friends with pretty much everybody that has one. But yeah, I mean, this thing just, love it. Do the swap. Do the swap. It's a lot of work. Do it yourself. Do the swap. And don't hit potholes. Well, guys, that about wraps it up. I really appreciate you guys sticking around this long and watching. Hopefully I have convinced you to spend a lot of money on a very fun build. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to contact me. Here's my Instagram, here's my Snapchat, and feel free to contact me on there and ask me some questions. If you guys have any other curiosities about the car, there's a lot of videos about this car of me talking more in depth about things, so go check out the videos. There's a bunch of them. But guys, that's about it. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to tell me that I'm doing a good job or a shitty job. That's up to you. But remember, and I will always say this, remember to do awesome, be awesome, and stay awesome. You guys are great. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time.